If you want to make that claim early in John Cena's career when he was going through his world championship phase, especially in the early days, I'll give you that. But I don't know if you were around for the United States Open challenges, but this was the part of Raw people were actually looking forward to. So to say they were buried just because John Cena kept kicking out of their finishers, truly, I would say is a false statement. Because for one, like I said, this was a time period a lot of people were looking forward to seeing John Cena. In fact, this is where a lot of his critics actually started to turn in his favor. He had stepped down from the main event scene and started giving time to people who were either not necessarily getting the screen time or newer faces of the company, people who were going through the NXT channel at the time. Basically, he was doing what Vince was kind of scared to do. And even then, during that time period, that was during Seth Rollins' first run as world champion. Because all of this happened after WrestleMania 31, after he defeated Rusev. And sure, that defeat you could say happened in controversial fashion because you could say he could have put over Rusev, but we would have never gotten the United States Open challenges. And here are all of his opponents that were in the United States Open Challenge: Dean Ambrose, Stardust, Wade Barrett, Kane, Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, now known as Pac, Matt Cardona, but back then known as Zack Ryder, Cesaro, now known as Claudio Castagnoli again, Rusev, Seth Rollins, Xavier Woods, Big E, Dolph Ziggler, Alberto Del Rio. And during this time period, he was having his rivalry with Kevin Owens that helped put Kevin Owens on the map. And during this time period, they would say Cena had some of his best matches, especially the ones with Sami Zayn, Neville, now known as Pac, Cesaro, now known as Claudio Castagnoli. When people talk about these matches, they don't say they were buried. In fact, they say, hey, this is where they were first able to showcase who they truly were. The exciting part was you didn't know if they were going to win, but 9 times out of 10, you didn't think they were. But because of the United States Open challenges, they could have won. And because it's a mid-card title, you can do a hop back and forth with the champions. And at least to WWE and the talent now, the US Open challenges were so successful, they still continue to do it to this day, that the last 3 United States champions still continue to do it to this day. So you may think it was a burial, at least to everybody else, fan-wise and the wrestlers, it was pretty successful.